Hello. Thanks for tuning in to yoga. Find your space if you would. We'll begin in a couple minutes. You might want to have a prop close by, a cushion, a rolled up towel, or a yoga block. You'll notice I have some yoga blocks close by. I also have some water close by. It's nice to stay hydrated. Perhaps no need during our class time together, but before and after for sure. Make sure your whistle is wet. Also nice to approach your yoga practice with a clean set of hands, a clean face. The cleaner the better. As you're comfortable. And we'll begin today lying down on back. So in no rush, make your way onto back. We begin in Savasana, traditionally the ending shape of most yoga classes. I like to begin in this position because there's nothing for your body to do other than observe itself. So please, come on to back. Situate as you need to feel comfortable. And then perhaps allow your eyes to close. Fidget again if you need to. But avoid fidgeting after all. You've found yourself comfortable. What more do you want? Rest into the floor kindly. Gently give your weight more to gravity. Relax both arms. How do I relax my arms? You might wonder. Ask them to relax. Simply feel your hands, your forearms, all round your forearms, and up through the biceps and triceps, your shoulders, your chest, and your back. Relax both arms by drawing attention to the arms, calling them up, and asking them to relax. Dial into your legs now. Turn your attention to your legs. Call down to them. Relax. 2 legs. 2 feet, ankles, knees, hips and pelvis. A little more. Relax the lengths of your legs, the soles of your feet. Try to feel for the space between your toes. Now, draw attention to the tip of your nose or your slightly pursed lips. Notice, where is your breath moving? Is it through the nose or through the mouth? Does your belly lift with your breath? Or is it your chest that expands? As we lie on back like this, I invite you to belly breathe. Inhale, expanding the tummy. And exhale, softening the tummy. Inhale, belly breathing. And exhale from the belly, breathing. In no rush now, take your hands under your head. As you place your hands underneath of your head, your elbows will bow out to the side. Again, take your time positioning your limbs anew. Draw the soles of your feet together And your knees will bend out to the side in much the same way as your elbows. This is Bakasana, the butterfly pose. Notice the stretch across your inner thighs. It might be very subtle. Perhaps it's quite intense. Listen to your inner thighs and attempt to soften them. Turn off the muscles of your glutes, the outsides of your legs. They might feel like they need to grip here, but they don't need to. Relax your glutes down the outsides of your legs, and your knees might just fall lower. Draw attention to the chest. A little stretch through the chest and shoulders, across the collarbone. I invite you now to breathe into your rib cage. As you take this chesty breath, you might notice that your belly button hollows in a little bit. Inhale, try to breathe into your rib cage, underarms and all. Exhale from your rib cage. Breathe laterally into the side ribs, underarms, into the chest. Inhale fully. And exhale from the ribs and chest. As you finish that exhale, stand your feet to the ground and release your arms out from underneath of your head. Arms open out to the side. And once they're open to the side, drop your knees to the left. A simple twist. Turn your face away from the knees. And then kick your top leg longer. The right leg extends as your gaze goes off to the right. That brings you more into this twist. Compare and contrast the longer right leg to the ankles now stacked again from your right foot to your left foot. Can you feel the difference? Stand your feet to the ground, please. Reset center. With your feet standing down to the ground like this, lift your seat a moment. Put it back down. Adjust your shoulders and your head. Try to feel yourself comfortable on your back. And then we'll take the twist to the other side. Knees simply drop to the right. And your gaze goes to the left. Turn your chin over your left shoulder. The top leg, the left leg, extend it long and notice what happens in your body. As the left leg kicks long, its weight draws your left hip more across, away from the left shoulder, creating more stretch and pull. Extending the top leg like this is not mandatory. If it's too intense, by all means, keep your feet towards each other, which is what we return to. Do, if not already, bring your left foot to your right foot and rest here. Feel here. Reset center. And good. Roll to your right side's fetal position. And in no rush, push up to a seated position. And find your legs crisscross, as comfortable as you can. I recommend sticking a block underneath of your seat, or a cushion, or a rolled up towel. With flesh out from underneath of your seat, roll your shoulders back and lift through the length of your spine. That takes work, tummy strength, to sit up tall. Ideally, it's more tummy strength and less back strength. That's why we like to place a block underneath of the pelvis, place a cushion there to lift the pelvis. That way, it's easier for you to lift into posture. Encourage your knees to fall down. Much harder to do if your seat is on the floor. You can notice the difference in me if you'd like. Side view. Comfortable on a block. Without the block, not as comfortable. A little more strained here, which then encourages the upper back to round. With the block under the pelvis, it's easier to keep the spine long and the torso nice and tall. Where are you? Over here. Excuse me as I come back. Where were we? Crossed-legged, more or less. Any other seated position is also fine. Wherever you're comfortable, let the legs fall down as the posture grows taller. Inhale, circle your arms, please, out to the side and overhead. As your palms touch, find your center line with those palms. Inhale, hands up the center line. And then turn your palms towards me and imagine you're wiping a slate clean. 2 more times like that. Inhale, arms circle high so that palms touch. Exhale, you bring your hands down your midline to your heart. Inhale, redefine midline. And then wipe your windows clean. The windows of perception. Inhale, arms circle. Exhale, find your center. Inhale, hands up center. And a clean slate. A fresh start. A spring cleaning. Let the hands fall down. Would you put your other leg in front? If you're not sitting in the cross-legged position, and sit in any other way, find flesh out from underneath of you, giving your spine every chance it has at being tall. We want to keep the spine long even as we tilt it and bend it, even as we twist it and turn it. We'll start with the side stretch. Left hand towards the floor. Tilt the ribs and the shoulders to the left. Right arm comes overhead. If it's too much stretch and pull in your ribs, you can always bend at the elbow. I encourage you to keep your arm long. If you can, left earlobe a little lower. Use the weight of your right arms coming down to help you come up. Inhale, prepare. And again, the right arm comes down as you come up to neutral. Lift through the length of your spine and inhale, prepare. As you exhale, tilt the shoulders. Bring your right hand to the floor. Give it some weight. If you straighten your arm, you'll push away from the floor. If you bend your arm, you'll lower towards the floor. Find some place comfy. Shoulders tilted. Left arm then goes long, and as it goes long, it pulls more stretch into your left side. You can always bend the arm, though I'll encourage you to keep it long. Right earlobe lower. Careful, you haven't lifted your bottom shoulder. Keep it grounding down. The bottom elbow tucks in towards you. It's true. Breathe in, prepare. For the dismount, left arm comes down and the torso rights itself. Inhale, prepare your spine's length. Exhale, twist. Right hand around back, left hand comes to right leg. Notice your shoulders have twisted in relationship to your pelvis, and then take your face around for the twist. Sit up tall and breathe here. Inhale, prepare. And release the twist. Find center. Inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, twist to the other side. So the left hand comes around back to help keep you tall. The right hand comes to your left leg to help you twist. And then your face turns around back. Check the shoulders are level. And check that you're not working too hard. There's no need to strain here. Not even a little bit. Continue to breathe. Back off if you need to. Inhale, prepare. And release if you haven't already. Good. Open your legs wide for a straddle position. A wide-legged forward fold. Now, as your legs open wide, there's no need to force them wider. Just comfortably wide, wherever that may be. Excuse me as I scoot back a little bit. Back onto the block I go, and notice the difference a block makes in my body. Legs comfortable here, posture is comfortable here. With the block under seat, my legs and posture are actually more comfortable here. Can you notice the difference? The longer spine and the longer legs, ideally. Flesh, pull it out from underneath each cheek, and then angle forward. You might pull even more flesh out from underneath of your cheeks. In an effort to angle your pelvis more forward. As your pelvis angles forward, so then your torso may fall more forward with less strain on your back. I like you to give some weight to the elbows. Wherever you can rest those elbows, please do. When you're ready, relax the back of your neck. Allow your chin to fall in. And as the chin tucks in, you'll notice more stretch through the back and through the back of your neck. In no rush, use your arms and a toned tummy to rise. Inhale brings you up. Nice. Nice work in the wide-legged forward fold. Let's pass through a lunge in order to stand into our forward fold. This transition is easier if you're already sitting on a block. Harder without the block under you. We'll bring right foot in, stand left foot down. We want to bring the pelvis between the two knees. Ideally, pelvis on top of the right knee. Looks like this. Hands come towards the floor. Head and shoulders moves over the right knee. Right leg, you'll notice mine is pivoting back. And then the left foot, I'm going to bring it in like so. Now, if you'll notice, I've got knee under pelvis. A good deal of weight on this elbow, connected to this shin. With left elbow resting on left thigh, lightly lift the back knee. Now that's easier to do if your weight is lower and in this shin. Knee lifts, and you bring your right knee to your right elbow. Standing forward fold. Again, that transition looks like this. More or less, weight in this left elbow. Weight leans forward as the back knee lifts. You step in and rest elbows to knees. You're standing forward fold. Allow the chin to tuck in. More length through the back of your neck. Shake your head no 3 times, gently, turning your skull. And then shake your head yes 3 times. Gently nodding your head. And come to still. We need a flat back. Use your arms to bring your spine up. Hands to knees, where the elbows just were. Straighten out the elbows to lift your torso up about halfway. And then bring your pelvis down more as you stand up. Looks like this. Seat under shoulders as you roll up. Oh, where did my head go? There it is. It hurt for a moment. Lost my head. So, again, from flat back position, we like to bring the seat down a hint more before we bring the shoulders on top of the seat. It's a nice, easy way to take a already long and lengthened spine up into standing. Otherwise, it looks like this. It's a roll up the spine. We lose the flatness and have to bring it back into place. Not a big deal, but I want you to keep your spine extra long for the rest of our time together. And especially now, as we move through our moon salutations. I'll turn to the side as we go through it the first time. You'll inhale your arms up overhead. And then exhale, you open your arms out to the side, bring them down to your knees. That is, hands to knees. And this is flat back. You're about halfway down. Finish the job. Breathe in. Exhale all the way down into standing forward fold. You might be better served with elbows on knees, but you're welcome to dangle here. Hands to knees, everyone. Inhale to flat back. Use the arm strength to lengthen your spine. Once your spine is flat, stand up and roll your shoulders back. Inhale your arms overhead, and exhale your arms simply down beside you. One more time, the moon salutation. I'll face you for this one. Inhale, arms touch overhead, hands touch overhead, excuse me. Exhale, arms open wide as you fold to the flat back. Hands rest on knees just as a midway point. Inhale here. Exhale, elbows to knees or dangle more. Inhale to flat back, hands to knees, everyone. Rest here a moment. And then stand. Shoulders back, arms overhead. And then simply arms by your side. Nice. Check in on your lower back. Does it feel any fatigue, any ache? Ideally not. We will rest our lower back in just a moment. Before we get there, open your legs wide. Try and parallel your feet, like you're standing on a train tracks. Very nice. Bend your knees just a little bit. Take your hands to your knees as we've practiced. Again, the arm's length helps you keep your spine long. Now, try to get elbows to where your hands are. Nice low squat here. Doing okay? I hope so. Relax the back of your neck if you comfortably can. A standing, wide-legged forward fold. If you'd like, you may straighten your legs and let the elbows dangle off of the shoulders. No matter. Knees, everyone. Bend your knees. Take your hands to your knees and inhale to flat back. Lovely. Walk your feet towards each other. And sit back into chair pose. I angle myself to the side, though you need not. Seat goes a little lower as the hands reach on a diagonal up and away from your seat. Sink your seat even lower if you can muster it. Lift the rib cage longer and the arms longer, all as the shoulders plug into your back. Now swing your arms vigorously 3 times. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Did your legs or torso change? No, just the arms. Let it go. Rise to tall and notice the work in your thighs. Notice how your lower back feels. Hands to your lower back, please. Well, let's start with hands at your sides. As your hands are at your sides, gently walk them back. Everybody's shoulders different. Everybody can get their hands more or less around the back. You start side, walk back as far as you comfortably can. And if that's here, that's fine. Wherever your hands can comfortably rest, as far back as you can. From there, pull your elbows towards each other. As you do that, you'll notice the chest lifts. If you're comfortable, lift the chin. This is a touch of back bend. We have our hands on the hips like this so that we can use the arm strength to decompress the spine. So instead of crunching into your lower back, you're lifting up and out of that lower back. Now, allow the elbows to open and your ribs will sink back down to normal. Release your hands back to normal. Very good. Now a wide stance. As you take your wide stance, turn your left toes to the left. Bend your left knee on top of your ankle and walk your right foot back a little bit. This is a warrior stance. We'll lift the arms to find warrior two. If you recall, warrior two has your heart and your hips facing the same direction. Open towards me. Open towards the front of you. Now we'll try and find warrior one. For that, we'll take the hands to the hips. Heart and hips now need to turn and face the same direction as your left toes. Before you turn the hips and heart though, walk your right foot in just a touch. That creates a little more space to turn those hips. Turn the ribs in line with the left toes. For warrior one, the arms no longer out to the sides, the arms go straight up and maybe back bend just a little. Release out of that little back bend as your arms come down. Open parallel feet, like you're standing on a train tracks. Neutral, rest. We'll do the other side. Turn your right toes to the right, like so. Ideally, do right. Left heel angles back. And then you want to keep the heel a little further back than the toes. So heel further back than toes. And if you can, a wider stance as you bend into the front knee. Good. Lift the arms for warrior two. Heart and hips, you'll notice, squared forward towards me, towards the front of you. And now we'll find a new front, in line with the right toes. Walk left foot in for warrior one. Turn your hips and your heart in line with the right toes. Heart and hips angled this way, arms up to the sky. Lift your chest, lift your chin just a little bit, and the arms might go back, a touch of back bend here. Breathe in fully, and bring your arms down. As you rise, parallel the feet, like you're standing on train tracks. Good. Very good. Working through warrior two and warrior one. Would you bring your feet together again? Similar to the warrior one, but with the heel off the ground, is your lunge. We will step our right foot back into a lunge, and then we'll take the heel of our right foot down to the ground into a warrior one. From there, we'll lift the heel back off the floor and into a lunge before stepping right back to here. Then we'll do it all on the left side. What was that now? Follow along with me if you would. Bend both knees. Take your hands to your knees. Looks like this. Now the right toes will tuck under as you lift your heel. Slide your right foot back. Looks like this. Toes tucked under as the heels lift. Do you need the side view? Looks like this. Toes tuck under as heel lifts. And then that slides back to the lunge. Now, in this orientation, your toes are pointing towards me. If you can, wiggle your right foot back a little further. Lift your arms up to the sky. Danger, danger. This is a precariously balanced position. A lot of weight is in the front leg, not much in the back toes. Again, the back toes are tucked under until now. Hands down to the right knee. Hands down to your left knee. Take your right heel to the floor. Looks like this. Can you see it back there? Oh, I fear you cannot. Does that light help? Watch the heel. Find the floor back there. Now you're ready for the warrior one. Arms lift up. This one is not as precariously balanced as the lunge. Warrior one has more of your feet grounded, so it feels more comfortable. And you'll notice heart and hips squared forward is a little bit of a struggle. Hands to knee. Lift that back heel, your right heel off the ground. So your right toes are pointing in the same direction as your left toes. Bring your right foot next to your left foot. Oh, stand tall. Roll your shoulders back a few times. Good. We will lunge, warrior one, and then return to the lunge before coming back to this position. Let's follow along. Hands to knees bent a little. Knees bend and your hands come to them. Recommend you take hands to the right knee. Slide your left toes back, tucked under. So the heel's up. This. See the heel up? Now, wiggle back further if you can. You don't have to. Good. Rise. Feel weight in the front leg as the arms come up. It's a precariously balanced position. Hands back, down. Back heel finds the ground. Thunk, just like that. Thunk, the back heel comes down. And now with the outside edges of both feet down, rise again into the warrior one. Different than the lunge. Hands to knee. Good. Let's turn the left toes forward. So the left heel comes up. And then step forward. Up. And neutral. Excellent. From here, posture tall. Turn your palms forward and open your stance about a shoulder distance. Feet approximately a shoulder distance apart. Lift your right heel. Push your spine on top of your left foot. Spine in line with leg. In line with your standing leg. Until now. Tilt your spine in line with your right leg, and you might just find counterbalance. Don't force it. Your right toes will want to lift off the ground if you're in counterbalance. They will not want to lift off the ground if you are not in counterbalance. Rest, everyone. Right foot down. Notice the heels of both feet are on the floor and your feet are more or less parallel. Feet opened about a shoulder distance. Lift the left heel. Lifting the left heel is going to shift your spine on top of the right foot and right leg. You then tilt your spine in line with the left leg. And if you feel the counterbalance, you might flex those left toes back. When it's time to come down, put your left toes down and then your left heel down. Very good. Now, I promised we'd rest the back. It's that time now. Let's pass through the lunge. in order to find our knee on the floor. That's hard work. Feet together, hands to knees. Good. Now, left foot goes back as you come on to your right elbow. Right elbow to right knee, left foot back, left hand down first, then left knee down. Just like when we were coming up, we need to now pivot the shin. Move the weight back. Lower your shoulders, and then lower your seat. Any success? Again, this transition from a kneeling lunge down to the ground works a bit of spiraling action inside the body. You can use body mechanics instead of physical strength. Physical strength looks like this. And it's very hard to do. Body mechanics is more fluid as you find the body down. Please feel free to practice that one on your own. The transition from here to here and back down. And don't worry if you cannot get your seat up off the ground. Try again. Perhaps start with the block underneath of the seat. If it's already lifted, it's infinitely easier to pull it through. Excuse me as I overteach. Bring your legs forward, please. With or without the block underneath of you, as you prefer, a cushion or a towel. I prefer it, so I place it under. I don't know that I need this anymore. Excuse me. Knees, if they are comfortable bent, please keep them bent. Otherwise, work your arms down the legs for a straight leg forward fold. The name of this shape, Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Try to relax the back of your neck a little extra. And no rush. Roll up your spine. Wonderful. If you're on a block, come off the block. Prepare to roll down the spine. Constructive rest. If you know it by name, the feet step back as you lay back. And this is your lower back resting period. Constructive rest places your legs in your pelvis in such a way that weight and tension eases out of the lower back. You align the pelvis, the ribs nice and broad, and allow your back to sink more down. Feel the weight of your femurs, the bones of your upper legs, resting down and into the pelvis. And that weight of your legs encourages the back of your pelvis to flatten against the floor, to spread out and relax. Allow for that now. Lower back. Relax. Relax lower back even more. And without straining the body, walk your feet a little wider for knock knees. We want to angle the toes towards each other as the knees fall towards your center line. Knees may kiss, or there might be a little space between your knees. Either way, your knees are passively falling towards each other. There's no work in squeezing the knees together. Walk your feet back in, out of the knock knee and into constructive rest. Step your feet a little closer to your seat. And then your seat, lift it, but just a little bit. Hips lift into the bridge. You might wiggle the heels of your feet right underneath of the knees. Can you keep the seat high for another 5 counts? 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly, not all at once, but inch by inch, slowly roll down your spine, inch by inch, bone by bone, middle and lower back, back of pelvis, back down. And then extend your legs long. Rest your hands down beside the hips. Turn your palms up if you don't mind. Back to Savasana, our resting place. Nothing to do but scan the body and ask it to release. Release tension, you say to your body. Release tension, you say to your back. Release tension, you ask your legs and your arms. Release tension. And with practice, your muscles start to listen. And you start to melt into the floor, drip by drip, as the body relaxes. More and more of your weight pours into the floor. I invite you to stay here for another 5 or 10 minutes, just resting against the floor. If that's not your style, you're welcome to rise with me now as I finish our class time together. But again, better to stay down here. Ignore me. Tune me out. In 5 or 10 minutes. Roll to one side or the other and push up to seated. After a long while lying on back, we gently press ourselves to seated and find posture once more, with or without a prop under the seat. Feel posture, and then place your hands to your heart. And bring your chin towards your chest, bowing your intelligent mind down towards your loving heart. Level the jaw, bring your hands to prayer, into the forehead. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your time and attention today. Again, it's my hope that you're still lying down on back. Press up to seated 5 or 10 minutes from now. Until next time. Aloha.